You guys love making fun of me because despite being a CS2 content creator, I know absolutely nothing about what goes on at any point in the CS market. Maybe a couple months ago I did, but believe it or not, I have a job, so I don't get to keep up with this. So today we're watching the CS2 market collapse is wild. And this apparently happened like 3 weeks ago-ish. And dude, it's been a big deal. Everybody's been talking about it in my comments. And my personal take so far on it is like, bro, the CS2 market has crashed a billion times. And it just always goes back up. I don't know how it'll be this time. I don't know if this is different, but I'm interested, because the last like big crash we had was because of the knife trade up update. And that was like almost like a year ago at this point. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Video game item sold for more than... In 2024, this video game item sold for more than $1 million.
Yep.
No way!
I think everybody knows about this. Just
Guys, do you know how crazy that is? This AK is what people have been waiting for 10 years.
You can get one yourself by opening this $200 loot box in Counter-Strike. The chance of you pulling that exact AK-47 skin, 1 in 21 million. But hey, you've got to be
ridiculously crazy to think about how rare it is to pull it. I think one got traded up to a couple months ago. It was like a battle scarred one. Like I remember watching One Pixel make a video about it, but it was like somebody put in like 6 battle scarred R8 banana somethings and ended up trading up to a freaking AK like case hardened 661. But the only thing is that instead of trading up to factory new, it was like battle scarred. So
in it to win it, right?
that's like the only other way you can get it is just through trade ups. I didn't know about this clip. This is Trainwrecks, by the way. I know you guys can't see, but I guess he pulled this. That's not #1 pattern though, because there's no scar right there. See?
That's crazy! Yes! Yellow!
And then this also wasn't insanely rare because for some reason the skeleton knives, like out of this case, out of the fever case, for some reason when it came out, the Dopplers / Sapphires had boosted percentages, and they still might. So like actually a skeleton Sapphire isn't like extremely rare compared to, a lot of the other knife variants that are Sapphires. But yeah, this is XQC. I'll just move my camera over here. I guess we're going to be seeing a lot of reactions.
People open an estimated 400 million of these containers every year, and the secondary markets are enormous. A booming $6 billion digital economy.
Dude, I think after the right here, like after the trade up update came out, hold on, I'll move my face again. After the trade up update, this dropped to like 3 billion. I'm not even joking. Like 6 billion is the market caps, right? Which means if you took all the skins and sold them or something, or all the skins that exist right now are worth $6 billion. Like all the skins in total, every Counter-Strike skin is worth $6 billion, right? But after the CS2 knife update where you could trade up into knives, dude, oh my goodness, it dropped to 3 billion, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
At its peak. Collectors running 6 or 7 figure inventories, traders doing sophisticated arbitrages. And then one day in October 2025, it all came crashing down.
Ooh. Yeah, dude, I said 3 billion, bro.
Was? Minus 50%?
That's crazy, bro.
How do I see
I'm not even gonna lie, because I think $5 billion is how much you need to be like in like the top 500 companies in the NASDAQ, right? And it's like CS2 was literally big enough where it could be listed on the NASDAQ as a stock, like with all the, obviously it's not like a publicly traded thing or whatever, but like the market cap of it was literally that of a stock, like an actual top 500 stock, which is insane.
$21,000. Boom! 8,000.
Yeah, dude. Oh my, it's crazy to think. I think the main things that got affected were items like these. Like, look, butterfly knife, gamma Doppler, emerald, Like a lot of these rare knives where it's like there weren't any of them. Like there are very few emerald, gamma Doppler, butterflies, factory new, And when the trade up update came out, obviously we just have double the supply. So I think like rare skins, like rare gems, were hit the hardest by far. And it's like not even close. Like look, 20 freaking thousand. It's shooting up between like it's like 21,000 right here. 8,000. That's more than 50%. That's more like the CS:GO crash 50%. It crashed 50% of the value, but this fell even more than 50%. This fell like 60 or 70.
$700.
About $3 billion was wiped out in a matter of days.
I remember this like it was
A
yesterday.
violent end to a financial crisis that played out exactly as
I think it was a good change. I think it was a good change, but in the moment it did feel like this.
intended by the company which orchestrated it.
How does this even make sense? Wait. No. Guys, how does this make sense?
It's Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. At some point in the afternoon, Valve, the parent company of Counter-Strike, pushes a routine update to CS2 through Steam. The patch notes are about 200 words long. Retakes
Yeah, I remember this, bro. I remember this because everybody was talking about this. They have all this stuff up here, like these small changes, like retakes being added, which was cool, right? It's like, okay, cool, we have retakes now. We should have already had that in the game. It's whatever, right? But it's like at the top, we have all these things that, like, I mean, are cool, but nobody really cares about. Fixed Molotov and smoke interactions, updated golden, whatever that means. I guess all these maps, right? And then it's like, I'll see if he shows it.
Game
But
mode is back as an official game mode. Inferno has some tweaks, a couple of updates to the Steam Community Workshop, and then buried towards the bottom,
I know it buried towards the bottom, like he says. It's just like the biggest update they've ever done, like in Counter-Strike.
players can now exchange 5 covert quality weapon skins for 1 gold tier item, a knife or a pair of gloves, the rarest and most valuable items in the game.
New CS update, you can craft knives. What? That's fake.
Dude, I had the exact same. I'm gonna just leave myself over here, bro.
That's
I'm
so
not gonna
fake.
lie.
That's so fake. That's the fakest thing I've seen.
I know. I thought this was the exact same thing. I thought this was like. I swear on my life. I saw this update an hour after it came out, bro, and I literally checked my phone and it was like, is it April Fool's? And it was obviously the middle of October, but I checked my phone because I was like, that's insane, right? And then I rushed home and made a video about it. I was
The
like,
community is baffled by this change. Anyone with a basic understanding of CS skins knows that chaos was minutes away from erupting. Alongside Counter-Strike's loot boxes, players have been able to use trade-up contracts to convert lower value items into higher value ones. For example, converting 10 purple items into a random pink item from
yeah, it shows the case hardened trade
the
up.
same collection. Covert skins, the red tier items, were the highest these trade-up contracts went. Knives and gloves are 1 tier higher, but those were only obtainable through the random luck of loot boxes. Each spin has a 0.26% chance of pulling a gold.
Yeah, I think, dude, I feel like the trade up update was also kind of good because even though the trade up update is still gambling, you know what I mean? Like, it still is gambling, like trading up to a knife. At least when you open a case, you have no clue if you're getting a knife. But if you want to get a knife guaranteed, you can at least now trade up to it. I feel like that's kind of cool, but
A ridiculously rare 1 in 385.
I got a knife! I got a knife! I got a knife!
So with covert skins becoming crafting inputs for trading up to rare, expensive knives and gloves, it was obvious that demand for red items was about to skyrocket.
Do you not?
I remember having a P250 Fire Serpent, or it wasn't like Fire Serpent, it was like Fire Elemental, and it was worth like $5. And then the next day I checked, it's worth like $50, and I was like, that just 10x'd in value. It was insane. And then I ended up using it in a knife trade up. But
know what's happening now?
yeah.
What's happening?
Do you not see the market?
What happened?
Do you not see that you
I remember this clip.
can trade reds for knives now?
You can trade up reds?
Oh, brother, you need to run home.
I haven't had internet for like 6 hours. Or 7.
Brother, reds are going for 16 times the amount.
There's no way this is true.
In the first few hours, transaction volume on the Steam marketplace surged by approximately 300%.
That was definitely the reason why.
The AUG Chameleon, a fairly unremarkable rifle skin, was trading for a few dollars the day before the patch.
Okay, look, this is the price of the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, look over here, dude. $4 for like an odd chameleon, which obviously didn't make sense for like a red rarity skin in the game. But it was kind of nice back then. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's some people who haven't played in the past year. Back then, it was really nice because there were a lot of red skins out there that you could just get whenever you wanted. Like a lot of covert skins you could just get because they were like $2, you know? And like, it's sad because there were skins like the AK headshot, which I thought already kind of sucked, but you could get them for like $10, which was worth it at the time. But now it's like $60 for a skin that just looks bad. And it's like a lot of these red skins that look bad, like, are just expensive now. And it's stupid because I'm not paying for that, you know?
Skin. $4, yeah? See
Yeah.
that? $4. Look at the buy orders at the bottom.
What? There's no way.
Brother.
It's $60.
A factory new P90 Asimov, $50 to $100.
That's crazy. That's because P250 or P90 Asimov is in the breakout collections. This is for butterfly knives. Like the collections with crazy knives got boosted
$50.
insane.
The surge is particularly noticeable for skins with
This was another skin that just was really cheap that you could get for like basically free, and then now it costs a ton of money.
higher wear, like this battle-scarred Legion of Anubis AK skin. What was once just an awful looking skin is now 1/5 of a way towards a knife, from $5 to more than $20 in a single day. Unfortunately, the other side of this update is far less exciting. There were about 20 million covert skins in circulation, but just 5.5 million gold, knife, and glove skins. So knife skins were going to see a huge increase in supply. How damaging would that be to the value of these items? The answer arrives fast.
Oh my god!
That's a sapphire.
Brother,
One in 2.5 million chance to hit that.
When live streamer
It actually wasn't. It actually wasn't a 1.25 million chance. Like I
see-
said, it's a lot easier to get sapphires out of that.
unboxed this knife about a year ago, it was selling for around $5,000
Oh, he's just using it in his game. Okay.
US dollars. Well, the day after the patch, it collapsed over 60% to just $1,500. Even with the price of covert skins rising significantly, the $5.9 billion market plummets to $3.5 billion in just over 2 days. Nearly $3 billion completely erased. Now, these numbers are pretty staggering, but I want to put some names to them. Coco is a prominent skin collector within the CS2 community. His inventory was worth about $1 million going into October 22nd. And within 2 days,
Minus $550,000.
he lost more than
That's like a house. That's like a house, bro. Oh my goodness.
500
There were people who allegedly F1 killed in real life after this update. I don't know if it was true, but like a lot of people, it's really sad because like a lot of people in China would like Chinese were a lot of the big skin buyers, right? And so like their entire life savings were in this, which is why this crash was so devastating. Like, because a lot of people did actually have their whole life savings in it, whether it was smart or not. A lot of people did, and it just hurt a lot of people.
$50,000. He was tweeting throughout this whole ordeal, and no, sadly, President Trump's press conference was not an executive order to reverse the CS.
That'd be kind of sick though, bro. He gets up there and he's he orders Valve to freaking
Patch.
revert the
Donald
update.
Trump, please save me.
A former Counter-Strike pro who goes by Olafmeister live reacted to the value of his skins.
$58K
My
2 days
goodness,
ago. 58K.
bro, he lost more than half.
His inventory
A car just disappeared. A car just disappeared.
drops from $58,000 to $18,000, a near 70% collapse. Oh, and apparently Neymar is a big CS skin collector. His $214,000 portfolio reportedly down more than $50,000. As people began using this new trade-up
Oh,
feature,
dude.
another serious problem loomed for the skins market.
Let's see it. Send it. Ew! Okay, GG. The reality
Such a bad pull.
of gambling. Jesus. Oh my god, it is what.
Every knife and pair of gloves crafted under the new system carries a 7-day trade lock, which means none of them can be listed on any marketplace until October 29th or 30th.
This was really interesting, okay? Because basically what happened is after the update, Valve added this thing where you couldn't sell it, right? So it was so weird because we had this insane, like so much like confusion, so much like people being scared of skins in the CS community. but we didn't even know how much the skins would actually be worth. We had no clue. We were like completely clueless because it was like yes, in theory, the knives should have gone down. Everything should have gone down a lot of money, right? But we didn't know because these new knives, nobody could trade them. Nobody could trade them at all. It wasn't tradable. Like they just, you couldn't do anything with it. So we literally didn't know what was going to happen to prices for an entire week. And the content that week was insane, bro. Everybody was like, predicting. I think everybody was saying it was going to go down, and then it actually ended up going up. I wonder if he
And
gets
the
into
trader
that.
community is well aware that if a significant fraction of those newly crafted items all hit the market simultaneously when the lock lifts, prices could face a second, potentially even worse collapse. Except that isn't at all what happened. The market cap of CS skins was about $4 billion as the trading lock lifted, and over the following days, the market meaningfully recovered.
Yeah, no, hold on. I'll move my face again for the graph. Look at that, dude. That's insane.
Still below the absolute peak, but higher than 6 months prior. During the recovery, one of the third-party marketplaces for trading Counter-Strike items filed for bankruptcy. Skin
Really?
was co-founded 4 years earlier
I did not know
and
about
had
this.
about 400,000 users. One of the co-founders stated, "My dream was to run an EU-compliant marketplace. I did, but ultimately it didn't work out. Ups and downs, loads of obstacles, some completely out of our control, but ultimately it ends like this." The company didn't provide any further details on why the marketplace had collapsed, but it made me
I
realize
I didn't, hold on, just real quick. I thought the skins marketplaces were a great deal. Like I thought you could make so much money off of it because the way the skins marketplace works is you basically are just a middleman, right? You're just a middleman for safe CS2 buying and selling skins. Because if you buy from somebody else, they could find ways to scam you, right? But if you buy from a trusted marketplace, it's like you know you're getting that skin, and then the way your business works is you charge like a 2 or 3% fee, right? Which you get to keep. And that's weird. Why did Skinbid go
that
bankrupt?
there's far more depth to this story than what's being seen on the surface. So I went down a rabbit hole to understand exactly how these third-party marketplaces operate and compete against Valve's own in-house.
Valve's is horrible. If you buy skins from the Steam market, you've got to be kind of brain dead. I mean, I have before when I didn't know about third-party marketplaces, but if you know about third-party marketplaces, you still buy off Steam because the third-party marketplaces like Skinport, whatever, CS Float, they'll take like a 2% fee. Valve takes 15%, dude. Like they take a big slice.
Marketplace. And to figure out the financial and legal motivations for Valve to make such an unpopular change to their Counter-Strike ecosystem. A quick reminder to hit subscribe if you haven't already. I only post every
Yeah, do that, bro. I'm literally just basically ripping this guy's content for. I'm kidding. I hope I'm providing enough commentary, but yeah, dude. Big shout out for this guy for making the video. Big W, big W. I'll link
couple
it.
of
I'll probably
weeks,
link
so
it.
subscribing is the best way to ensure you see my new videos on your homepage when they're released. Counter-Strike 2 is free to download and play. So how does Valve actually make money? There are basically two pipes. The first is keys. Remember those 400 million cases I mentioned at the start? Every single one of them needs a key to open, and the key costs $2.50 paid directly to Valve. So just on keys, that's roughly $1 billion a year from one free game. Spent
So stupid, dude.
on purely cosmetic items, by the way. None of this can make you better at the game.
These guys like know right
Nah, skins do make you better. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I'm not gonna lie.
where I'm at.
The second pipe is the Steam community market. This is Valve's in-house marketplace where players list and trade skins with each other, and Valve takes a 15% commission on every single sale. Over the past 12 months, the Steam marketplace handled about 750 million transactions with about $1.3 billion of total trading volume, making Valve's 15% cut about $170 million.
That's unbelievable. But here's the thing, right? Valve wants this always to be more. Valve will do whatever it takes for this to be more, right? So a big theory with the knife trade up update, right, is that a lot of knives, for example, if you take, we were talking about it earlier, a butterfly knife emerald, that's $20,000, right? And Valve's marketplace just on the app, like if you open Steam, go to Steam Market, right? The only thing that you can, the maximum amount of value you can get from an item that you sell on the Steam Marketplace is $2,000, right? So let's say you have an M9 Bayonet Doppler, which before the trade up update, I believe was around 3 to 4,000. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about the number. I think that's close to the number it was, right? You take that knife, right? And you're looking for somewhere to sell it, right? And you look at Valve and you see you can only get $2,000 for your knife. And also it takes a 15% fee. You're not going to go sell it to Valve, sell it on the Steam Marketplace, right? You're going to go to these third-party websites which offer you a substantial amount more money and they take less of a fee, right? So when Valve increases the amount of knives that exists, suddenly M9 Doppler goes from 4,000 down to like 1,500, which I think it sits at now, right? And now suddenly you can list it on the Steam market. Granted, the fees are still there. The 15% fee is still there, but now you can set it on the Steam market, which means Valve will occasionally get that 15% fee and it get a lot more money than they did before.
Shout out
Like
to
a lot.
Zesty for putting this data together. Also, I might have to steal that channel description. Pretty much sums up my content recently.
Hey, bro, this is daily content. I don't know what you're talking about.
So even with a rough estimate, Counter-Strike easily generates more than $1 billion annually. But their marketplace is the lagging revenue stream. That largely has to do with how listing items currently works. When you sell a skin on Steam, the money lands in your Steam wallet. You can spend it on more skins, you can buy other games, but you can't move it to a bank account. You can't cash it out. You can't even transfer it to another Steam user.
This is why Valve gets away with cases, by the way, because you technically can't cash out your money, right, in real world value through Valve directly, which means that cases would absolutely be considered gambling. If, for example, you could just transfer your Steam wallet balance to your bank account, but that's like Valve's only like legal loophole that stops cases from being gambling. Like that's it. Cases are gambling. That's just how it works.
Additionally,
I hate to say it. Like I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me in the comments for that. That's just the reality of the
The
situation.
individual marketplace listings are capped at $1,800. So even if you're lucky enough to pull a $5,000 knife from a case, the Steam marketplace literally won't let you sell it for what
Exactly. Yeah.
worth. For casual players flipping $5 stickers and a couple of weapon skins, none of this is really a problem. But for collectors with six-figure inventories, the Steam marketplace is basically unusable for the items they actually care about. So a parallel ecosystem of third-party marketplaces popped up to fill the gap. Sites like CS Float and Skinport. These platforms let you sell a skin for real actual money, not Steam credit. There's no listing cap, and the fees are a fraction of what Valve charges. The point being that there's a huge high end of the CS skins market on third-party sites where Valve makes absolutely no money.
See, okay, Valve makes no money off of this, right? You can say that. I think it's true that Valve doesn't make money off directly the third-party market websites, right? But the thing is, imagine Valve banned all third-party marketplaces, which they could absolutely do right now. They could just say, hey, you're not allowed to sell our skins. That's not how it works, right? They could literally do that instantly. Prices of skins would drop immediately because what's the point of having a $2,000 skin if you can't cash it out? If you can't get real money for it, it's a horrible financial decision. The reason why skin prices can rise so high is because there's that cash out incentive, right? It's like you can always justify it by saying like maybe you buy a $200 knife, right? You can always get your real money back for that. There's no loss of money exactly except for maybe the fee you take when you sell it, right? So you're never actually losing money when you buy Counter-Strike skins. But imagine instead if you just bought a skin and you couldn't sell it. You just couldn't sell it. Nobody's paying $300 for a knife skin that looks okay. That's just not the reality of the situation. So it's like, because of that, I feel like third-party marketplaces boost the value of skins substantially.
But maybe there was a way that they could tweak the skins economy to change that. After the October 2025 trade-up patch and the market crash which followed it, there was a relatively quick recovery. But the dynamics of this economy have drastically changed. Here's a simplistic way to look at it. Before October 22nd, if you wanted a knife, there were really only two ways to get one. Open a case and hope you roll the rare gold tier, or buy a knife from another player
This one is always better, by the way. Please never open cases.
who had already pulled one. And like I explained, the actual high value secondhand sales, the ones with real money on the line, almost all happen on third-party sites. Valve makes nothing from those transactions. Now have a look at how it works after October 22nd. Option 1 is still to open a case and pull a knife, but now every red tier covert you pull is also crafting fuel for a knife. So the case has dual value. Either way, money still goes straight to Valve. You can also now just buy 5 coverts and craft your own, and that makes a huge difference. A $100 covert sits well.
I haven't really thought about that, but it is kind of true. Like, the knives are less expensive. A lot of the knives are less expensive than what you'll spend on a trade up, so you will still lose money. But I mean, you could always technically still get like the best pull of a knife. Like, it's still probably a better way. Actually, it's probably like a more money efficient way than actually opening a case. Cause like, I don't know. It's just, you could get, you're spending probably less on average to get a better return, but it's still not profitable, not even close.
Under Steam's $1,800 listing cap, so covert trades largely happen on the Steam marketplace, and Valve takes its 15% on every
There you go.
single one. Obviously, there are still a lot of these skins selling on third-party sites, but this feature in a broad sense just shifted some of the market's value from these $1,000+ items to lower priced items. Let me use this field-tested AUG chameleon to demonstrate the point. In the first 6 months of 2025, there were about 12,000 items sold for a median price of $3 to $4. That's about $45,000 worth of transactions for this skin. Compare that to the last 6 months after Valve's patch. Less than 6,000 items were sold, but the average price was $100, so the overall transaction value was nearly $600.
I didn't think about this at all. It's the Redskins how they make their money. It's not people selling more knives. It's people. Oh my goodness, dude. It's people buying the Redskins for the trade ups, and then Valve makes their cut because the Redskins cost that much more.
$1,000. Valve's 15% cut of those trades has increased more than 10 times. Now, to be fair, some covert skins
That's
have seen a
unbelievable.
decline in transaction volume since the patch, and we can't see Valve's internal commission numbers, so we can't prove whether this has been a profitable decision overall. But regardless of the actual outcome, it's at least plausible that this move was engineered to steer more of the market towards their own ecosystem.
Oh, it definitely is, dude. I mean, like, Valve will do anything for your money.
I say in part because there's a much bigger shift that's been happening at Valve, one that provides a very obvious explanation for this crash, and might suggest it's not going to be the last one. And actually, on that note, as I was editing this video,
Yeah, we got the souvenir trade up update. It's insane.
so Valve just put out another massive change that I'm not talking about in this video, but yeah, the point certainly stands that
This one I feel like isn't maybe as big of a deal as the knife trade up, but it's still ridiculous because now souvenir value is just tanked. Like, you can just craft yourself an op souvenir dragon lore out of a normal dragon lore. It's unbelievable. I don't even know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why they would do this.
Valve is
This is just a scummy cash grab update. Like, genuinely, I don't know.
making a lot of changes in the same direction. For about a decade now, the idea that loot boxes are basically just gambling has been chasing Valve around, and their Counter-Strike system has been the main target. Back in 2016, there was the whole CSGO Lotto scandal. Some huge YouTubers got caught promoting a CS skin gambling site that they secretly owned, and the FTC went after them for non-disclosure. Then in 2018, Belgium and the Netherlands ruled that the Counter-Strike lootbox system fit their definition of gambling, because the items in the case were tradable for real money. Valve's response was to just turn off case openings for players in those countries entirely. But then in 2019, France joined the chorus, and Valve got a lot more creative. They didn't disable cases, they invented something called the X-ray scanner.
This is so lame, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, if I had to open cases like an X-ray, dude, I would cry. But also, it's lame in two ways. It's lame because it just genuinely looks lame. It's like a worse version of opening cases. Second of all, it's lame because, bro, I mean, I guess it's technically like you're not gambling, but you really are. It's just like Valve loves to do this thing. Like, whether you see it everywhere, you see it with terminal systems, you see it with the X-ray scanner, where they love to do this thing where every time they get called out for gambling, they always make a workaround that's still gambling, but with extra steps that make it like, I don't know, a legal loophole or something. Like, for example, take the terminals, which we just got in Counter-Strike. You know, it's a very recent thing, right? But it's like you get a random skin out of a case, right? But now the only difference is you have to pay to own the skin in the case. It's like you're still gambling. Dude, it's stupid though, because it's like imagine you go to a casino, right? You're on their slot machine, brain dead spamming it, right? And you end up winning the jackpot, right? You get $1 billion, right? But then the casino's like, all right, to get this $1 billion, you're gonna have to pay $999,000, right? And it's like you make like $1,000, but you have to fork over 999,000. It's insane. I don't know.
I want to explain
That's
this
exactly how like the Genesis terminal works.
X-ray feature because it's the most ridiculous loophole. Normally, you pay $2.50 for a key, you open the case, and you see what random item you got. With X-ray, you get a scanner that shows you what's inside the case, and then if you want to open it and get the item, you pay $2.50. So it's not gambling anymore. You're paying $2.50 after you find out what's in the case.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
Well, there is a catch. You can't scan another case unless you pay the $2.50 for the item in the last case you scanned. They also put a non-tradable item in the first case for everyone. So you scan the case and see this worthless item that they've stuffed in there, and then if you want to open the next one for a random chance at something valuable, you have to pay $2.50. It's mechanically exactly the same as the keys model that was banned. More recently, Valve introduced another system called the Genesis Terminal, which is a similar idea. The randomness happens before the transaction, not after. But that was far from the last of Valve's regulatory problems. On February 25th, 2026, just 4 months after the trade-up patch, the New York Attorney General filed a 52-page lawsuit against Valve Corporation, saying that this loot box model that Valve
This is a really good move. I really like this.
has developed, charging an individual for a chance to win something of value based on luck alone, is quintessential gambling, prohibited under New York's constitution and penal law. The Attorney General was asking for a permanent injunction, disgorgement of every single dollar Valve had ever made from loot boxes, plus additional fines. So the trade-up patch could plausibly be related to this lawsuit. Before October 22nd, the only first-party way to get a knife was to open a case, pay the money, roll the dice, and hope. That's the structure that regulators are calling slot machine gambling. After October 22nd, that same player can craft a knife by trading up 5 coverts. There's still chance involved, sure, but it's not a sealed mystery box. Whether the October patch was specifically planned to support Valve's gambling defense, or whether it just landed at a really convenient moment, only Valve and their legal team actually know. I think I'm going to do more videos at some point on these video game market disasters, because they're kind of fascinating. Also, sorry for being MIA for about a month. I was in the US for a little bit, and when I got back, I had kind of...
Yeah, no, that was a really cool video, I'm not gonna lie. I guess it explained just the whole crash and everything. And I guess this guy doesn't even make video, he just makes financial videos, which he covered the situation really, really well. Like, he literally got, like, basically every part of it correct, and it's kind of just insane how this whole thing is just Valve just saying they're not gambling when they actually are. It's so stupid. It's just Valve just being money hungry. And dude, it's so sad because I feel like Valve was already a money hungry company, right? But I feel like in the past like year or two, they've just gotten like insanely money hungry. Like, it's not even funny. Like, every update they do just pushes this like agenda of getting more and more and more and more money out of it. And it's insane. It's insane. It's like the greediest company I've ever seen. Like actually ever, dude. I swear. And the problem is that it's like the Counter-Strike community like speaks out against it, but it's a well-oiled machine that is never going to stop. So like unless the legal action in New York does like actually do something against cases, nothing is going to ever change, you know? So anyways, great video by this guy. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, very well covered. Subscribe so I can get a dragon lore.